Alright, this is another extension video to just what we talked about with these front ends. What I want to show, I didn't have this, what I want to show is this piece right here. This is what a lot of the racers are doing. Our race director's made this out of flat bar. Looks like it's 1.5 inch flat bar. He's bent it, drilled the holes. So you will have this bolt going through here. And then as we talked, this other bolt, there'll be a hole drilled right here, and then we'd slip that over as your stock. Now, what I did on the one that I built is I didn't have the mechanism to bend that, get it accurate, so I just took a piece of 1/8 inch, quarter inch square tubing that I'd bought at the metal store, and it was 3 inch, and I just cut it to what I want width-wise, and then I cut it in half. And that gave me this C. That was a way that I didn't have to spend time heating, bending, tweaking, that type of stuff. It was just cutting, and that was feasible for me at the time. So what I want to show with this as well is this type of setup will work with all of it. You can set that piece right there, run your bolt through it, like so, and then of course you'd have your hole and run it through right there. Now the one thing you want to do is you want to try to line this spindle up with the center of the axle. So then the other thing that you want to do when you do them this way is you want to have a little bit of room. If you'll notice, this is not exact tight, because you might need to shim it one way or the other. So what you'll do is make that a little bit wider, and then you can slip washers in there. If you need to put this down here and shim that to get the right jacking that you want, or the right stance for your wheels, you know, or you want it even, throw a couple washers in. But leave yourself some room so that you can shim it. So this one here, once again, it would work on that configuration. You'd have your bolt, you have your heim joint, and then of course your spindle, and then it would work as well like I just talked, this type of thing. So you could run this setup almost on all of these front ends. I really like this setup though, but either way, this is easier for me to build. That's why I like it. It's easy for me to bend that in a vise and not have to try to do this. If you are going to go this way, I would highly recommend, you know, pick up some square tubing, spend 20 minutes cutting, and clean it up with a grinder. It's a good way to go. So what I'm also going to show is our race director has actually put together this jig. Now I've never seen this. This is kind of new to me, but it's something that I'm actually going to implement as I build these machines. So what he's done is taken a piece of 2x4, and he's got two 2x4s. So he's laid this out. He's set this up so he has a 1/4 inch piece, and what he's done is lined it up so that it's center and level as much as possible, and he's taped this down. So now that this is kind of locked down, what he's going to do with it is he'll start welding it up. It's easier, and I never thought of doing this. You know, they are kind of a fight trying to get all this lined up straight, and this is a simple method to make sure that all this is lined up and weldable and lined up the way you want it to go. So like I said, I've never seen this. This is kind of new, but what a awesome idea. It's simple, easy to do. Grab you a 2x4, tape it down so it's not going to move around on you when you're ready to do the final welding of your spindles and your front end assembly. So other than that, I think that's all I have with front ends. There's a lot to them, a lot of variations in them to achieve the results. So hopefully this will get you pointed in the right direction. And I think the next lesson will be mounting the front end in the frame, and we'll move on from there.